Yo, internet, what's good? Paradox, Vampire the Masquerade, Bloodlines. A lot of good stuff has been happening, in relation to like some of the games that I'm actually happy to see come back. Well, in light of 2019, it actually is looking like it's gonna be a good year, or at least the first 3 months, 4 months have been. Well, April kind of hasn't gone by yet, but the first 3 months have been pretty good for Capcom gaming and gaming news, and also announcements, with them bringing out or at least them announcing Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines too, which in this case Paradox Interactive, who of course purchased White Wolf, they're actually planning on picking up the slack and giving us a sequel to basically one of the most beloved RPG games to come out, which thanks to Troy Games, like which has actually flooded like the PC market with like Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, a really good game. You know, well, even though they kind of had to even though fans had to do what they had to to basically drop update after update after update, which I believe that they're still doing to this day, to make the game bigger and better and whatnot. But basically they went on to say that, or at least like the fans were the first thing that the fans did to ask for it was like, hey man, I hope that these guys that they make a Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines game, or at least make a sequel to it. And it was like, yeah, we're doing that. They went on to make a sequel, and they're also planning on releasing way more games under the World of Darkness line, so that people can actually get a little bit more fun with this. I feel like I'm like in the early 2000s, where basically we would constantly keep making like vampire and werewolf games along with the zombie game also, because they're also planning, because again, with this being, we started out with with zombies earlier in the year with Resident Evil. We're now jumping back into vampires with Vampires the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, and now with this one we have Werewolf the Apocalypse Earthblood, which is an action RPG due next year on PC. On PC consoles, which is supposed to be developed by Cyanide Studios. So hey, I'm actually liking it. Seems like it's something positive, or at the very least it's a step in the right direction, because again, most of the other RPG games that have been coming out, they really weren't necessarily RPGs. They've only just been, I want to say, action games where you shoot guns with your friends and whatnot, and then you have RPG elements where you swap out armor and skills and whatnot, and then you don't really affect the story too much, which is a thing that I did kind of miss. However, moving on to basically one of the realer things is that technically this game was actually Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 was actually a tremendous risk for the the company, because again, this article basically details the company and how they pitched the game to basically another one of their co-conspirators from Hard Suit, from Paradox Interactive. And the interesting thing is that, yeah, the game, it is a big risk, but at the same time is that I feel as though it has had a big enough fan base to where that we do want to know where the story leads on from where it left off at with the first game. We do want to visit LA and Hollywood and deal with this vampire-esque city again. We honestly, the game is very difficult to put down, especially say that, and also we kind of would like a game today to basically capture the magic of what this and plenty of other games did way back in the day. Again, you hear about games like Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic coming back, or getting remastered. The fandom just goes crazy because we love the classic RPG games that actually give us these options to do these specific things, which hopefully like this game, it does do well. Well, I know that it will, but that is basically what I gotta say about that. And finally, yeah, this was like a tiny update. Side Games gives us an update upon GranBlue Fantasy, and basically the idea behind this one was that the process has slowed down because they had to transition everything over from Platinum over to Side Games, and now that they've gotten like a cast roughly around like about the same size as what Platinum had, then yeah, like things are slowly gonna pick up again, in which there's not really gonna be, or at least hopefully there's not gonna be any more problems. You know, the high segment, like say with an increased staff on the horizon, Side Games expects the development to speed the development speed to pick back up as well, and also the developer has a good feeling about the public reactions to come. Specifically, like if they don't change the combat system of what Platinum Games has done, if they don't necessarily change a little bit too much about what the game is supposed to be based on, which is anime, then yeah, like, and they develop it wonderfully. Like, I mean, honestly, man, like the game is, I mean, like it's technically an RPG game from what I understand. It's it's a co-op RPG game where basically you have full control over just about over which character you pick. That is something that can sell millions, and like honestly, like I can't wait for it. I can't wait for it to come out. I'll catch you guys on the next Jongravesshow. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. I'm out.